What's going on, guys? I am Toxic Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be jumping into the Super Saiyan 2 Goku EZA here. We'll be taking down stage 100. So obviously the effective category we've got here is Majin Power, and obviously we want to use extreme class allies. So yeah, this is the team that we've got built here. There is pretty much like one team exactly that that you can use for this. Like the Majin Power team. Oh no, my cord. We'll pause here for a second till this goes live again. But yeah, usually like this team is, there's multiple ways to build it because like most of the units on this team have leader skills that work for all of the other units, like all these Boo cards, whether it's transformation boost or power absorption or, you know, those kind of things, or Majin Power, right? They basically all are on all of these, or like artificial life forms would be another one. And then obviously like Boo Saga. So if you can provide any of those leader skills for basically the majority of these Boo units, you're going to be able to run whatever teams you want. But I've found that it works best with the transforming Buuhan here, getting his domain out and everything. So yeah, I feel like this is probably the best version of the leader skill that you can have. Oh, I think actually one thing that I was doing was I was picking an STR Kid Buu friend lead. So that was a bit of a goof on this first run, but that's all right. We'll alter that for the next run around. Actually, this is going to be kind of cool because we're going to get Boo's domain off. So we'll go ahead and transform the friend one since mine's only 55%. The friend one's 100%. So then now we'll be able to link up the non-transformed one with the transformed one, and we have the domain buff as well. So yeah, I think we'll do this. Let's see how our links are looking this turn. 7 out of 7, and then 6 out of 7 there. There's no legendary power. Wonderful. Okay, so this should be a pretty quick turn. We'll go ahead and throw it on auto now and see what happens. Between the two EZAs, the Kid Buu one and then this one, I would say this one was considerably harder. Right, obviously, you know, the team building, like the teams that you had available were completely way worse on this one. Obviously, Majin Power is like a much smaller list to pick through than what was it, like Accelerated Battle? Or no, it was straight up Pure Saiyans, in fact, is what it was. So yeah, obviously Pure Saiyans is going to have a better lineup than Majin Power here. So I am definitely noticing that at stage 100, it's like harder to take this stage down than it was like on the Kid Buu one. It was still pretty easy. Like you were just automatically autoing everything with no risk of dying and still beating it in like 1 turn if you were lucky and then 2 turns if you weren't, right? Which we got pretty lucky as far as damage is concerned on this first turn, only because we were able to activate the domain and then link them up together. That can, you know, result in a pretty heavy damaging turn. But the plan isn't even to run 2 of these guys. There was supposed to be an STR Kid Buu on this rotation instead, so. Okay, perfect. And then we've got an STR Kid Buu here. We're just going to leave him at the end there. We'll go ahead and let the AGL Super Buu take care of this. Obviously, he's probably like the first unit on the team that'll get replaced. Oh no, dude, this cord. I don't know how long that was blank for. Okay, so yeah, so like basically that Buu is only on the team because he does a lot of damage and he's getting me through the levels a lot quicker. You know, because obviously when you're working on the lower stages of an EZA, the idea is to just get through everything as quickly as you can. And then once it gets more difficult later on, then that's when you can start focusing on like, okay, I want to, you know, make my team more defensive, and it'll take a lot longer to get through stages because you're prioritizing defense to just big damage numbers, but then you're surviving longer. So yeah, we're not quite at that point yet with this EZA, but we're getting close. We are getting decently close. I don't think every single unit on this team is like free and clear to survive. We haven't been seeing a lot of super attacks come out, so I'm not super sure about that, but we'll definitely keep going here until we see someone just take a solid super and see what happens. Because I imagine we'll be at the point where we're actually going to take some damage. But so many of these units have like a ton of dodging and stuff like that, and a lot of like defense stacking mechanics that once they super, they're going to be like much more tanky. Really what I would like to see is a slot 1 super happen. against anyone on the team. In fact, AGL Super Boo, specifically, because I know he is the weakest unit defensively on this team, I kind of want to see him get clapped up a little bit, just to see where he's at. Because obviously that's what we need to know. Because if AGL Super Boo is able to survive whatever is being thrown at him, then we know we don't have to change any units on the team yet, right? Now, obviously, there are still a couple other really powerful Majin Power units that we can use. Keeping in mind that this is an EZA stage, so you can't use same-name characters on the team, is kind of a bummer, because obviously this STR Kid Buu is a must, having the type advantage and everything, on top of his own ridiculous EZA. As you can see there, he just put out a very impressive little set of damage for us. Definitely doing more damage than any other unit on the team. But yeah, because of that, that means we can't use, like, the physical Kid Buu, and then obviously there's the same shenanigans going on with, like, Buuhan cards and Super Buu cards and things like that. There are definitely, like, multiple of all of those. So yeah, it would be a matter of, like, trading them out for kind of an equivalent unit that has the same name type of thing. Yeah, so we would have to go and jump into the box and see what other options we have. Another really big one that I actually was using on the team for a little while was the Int Fat Buu. He could be a good, like, team protector for this stage for sure. Just because he has the free revive, right? So the fact that he has type disadvantage, once we get to the point where all of these top tier units that we're using are starting to take damage a little bit, which I imagine is going to take a couple hundred more stages of advancement to cause. But once that happens, then we could put the Int Fat Buu on the team, and because he has type disadvantage and he's not, like, insane defensively, we could, like, throw him slot 1, have him die and do the revive for us, and then we'd be able to get the Ghost Usher for him when he comes back around. So he could provide quite a few turns of team protection for us. That could be really good. Okay, we'll go ahead and keep running this. We'll do, like, 1 or 2 more stages here, just to kind of get a solid idea where everyone's at. Ooh, okay, I'm going to force this real quick. I know there's only one attack up front, but I am going to put the AGL Super Buu up front, just for reasons of what we were talking about before. Seeing if he can possibly get hit by something would definitely be good. Okay. Alright, so he's still double-digit tanking normals. Keep in mind he's got the guard turn 1, so that definitely helps him. I really would like to see him get supered. Even post-super attack, I would like to see him get supered. I would be interested to see. Okay, no super this turn. Unfortunate. But what can you do? Okay, and then an additional super, please. And make it a crit so we can get this thing moving? No? Okay, goodness gracious. All right, now we just sit and wait. Like, obviously STR Kid Buu is our ace here. So if he's not the one doing the attacking, we still got 6 health bars left. Like, we know the enemy's not going anywhere anytime soon. Okay, this is good at least, so we're gonna see what some super attack damage looks like. Obviously we got like 3 super attacks off, so we have a lot of defense, yeah. Okay, so this stage is definitely still a bit slouchy. Just to make this go quicker, I'm gonna put Kid Buu in the front, so he'll be attacking first. Okay, we really need some crits here, Kid Buu. Oh my goodness. Wow. Jeez. Kid Buu showing out with both, I think both Kid Buus on the last rotation and on this rotation. Both just did 1 super attack, which is his weakest one, because he does get those great, like, raises every time. He's going to be doing a lot more damage per super. So just doing the first super attack, and then just doing 1 more normal. And that first super attack didn't crit. Oh my goodness. This cord, bro, it is driving me insane today. I think it's just about time for me to switch out this iPhone cord. It's getting pretty mangled looking. Okay, yes. And we're live. There we go. Holy moly, dude. Okay. Let's go ahead and do one more. Out of curiosity, who's this person in first? Oh yeah, they're like decently ahead of me. Yeah, so you can see there's another couple options here for like some strong STR Majin Power units and stuff. Maybe we'll do that. Let's go ahead and switch up the team a little bit. Just throw a couple of other units on here. So we'll sort by Majin Power. We'll do like maybe 2 more runs with some different teams here. Some different unit options. Okay, so if we're talking putting another Super Boo, we got to take off AGL Super Boo in order to put on STR Super Boo. As annoying as that is. And then I guess we can take him off and let's put on like Int Fat Boo. I am actually curious. I'm going to take him off too. Oh, wait. If we have Int Fat Boo, we can't use STR Fat Boo. Yeah, okay, we'll just leave Int Fat Boo on there. And then I guess, is there any other unit that we want to try out? No one else is going to be, like, insane for this. We can probably, I mean, we could probably just throw him back on. Yeah, this will be fine. This will be fine. Oops. Okay. All right, and we still got the Kid Boo friend. Okay, cool. So yeah, I guess we'll get a decent look. You'll get to see what Fat Boo looks like at this, you know, turn, like, stage in the fight. I'll go ahead and put him up front. Yeah, this will be fine. I'll put him up front. That way we can see what that onslaught of attacks is going to look like against him. Obviously, we know he's not going to do, like, shit for damage. That's not why he's here anyway. And having type disadvantage at this point. Oh, perfect. A super right out the gates. This is actually really good to see where we're at with him. Okay, so yeah, having type disadvantage being pre-super attack makes sense that he took a little bit of damage, but obviously, again, we are still a long ways away from being able to be KO'd, and using this unit for, like, the revive strategy and stuff, right? So yeah, not a big deal at all. But yeah, obviously, the reason why I wasn't using that unit is because it's going to slow us down insanely, right? Yeah, having a stronger attacker on the team is definitely always a good idea. Well, not always, but at the earlier stages here is a good idea. Before we ramp things up too much. Okay, here we go. This is a better turn from Kid Boo. My goodness. This is much more what I'm expecting to see. Nice, and we even get the crit there on the last one. When it matters. When we do the most damage. Alright, I'll probably turn off auto and throw Kid Boo in the first slot here, depending. Yeah. Oh, he already is. Okay. Cool. That should make this go as quick as possible. Alright, I don't think we really need to show any more playthroughs. I think it's pretty obvious that, like, every unit can still massively tank at this point. I kind of showed how the team works, showed where your damage is at. Yeah, it's kind of fine. There's not too many insane mechanics you have to worry about. The one thing you are gonna have to worry about if you are grinding this, you know, into like the multiple hundreds is that you need slot 1 units. This team isn't really full of slot 1 units, so that can be a bit of a problem, right? Like, a lot of these guys do have to gain their defense by super attacking first. So once you get to the point where you're like weak in slot 1, then there are some, you know, neat utility units that you can go ahead and use. So let me go ahead and show you guys this list here that I've put together on the amazing and wonderful Dokkan Info website. So these are all the utility units that I like to remind people are viable to use in various different EZA stages. So all of these units, you know, you might be familiar with some or all of them, have really cool mechanics in their kit that allow them to be used potentially even off leader skill to allow you to get further in these EZA stages. So of these special units, the ones that are available to use on this stage, the God Goku here technically can be used. So here's the thing with him. He's going to be giving you 77% damage reduction because you're facing a pure Saiyan. But he'll be off leader skill. He's so the fact that he's not going to be on a leader skill means that 77% damage reduction isn't going to be quite as potent because he's not going to have any defense to go along with it. And then the other thing where I think he actually might not be too viable is because he's not on Majin Power. So not only is he not going to be supported on whatever leader skill you're using, but then he's also not even on the type effective category. So I think he might actually get mollywopped through that 77% damage reduction. But if you're really, really struggling, because I know that Majin Power is a really, really horrible, like, horribly small category. So if you're a, you know, not like a super long time player, you might not have access to a lot of the characters on this category. So maybe it's possible that that unit could be something usable, at least just to help you get through like stage 30 or whatever, right? So then Caulifla, she will be an amazing unit because against the Pure Saiyan enemy, she is going to have the exact, you know, the exact same proc, but then she just gets 100% chance to dodge. So obviously it doesn't matter if she's not on Majin Power or anything like that because she won't be getting hit with anything. So she is definitely someone that you can depend on as a slot 1 unit. If you've got the STR Kid Buu, he's going to be doing so much damage that if you run him as your friend lead as well, you've got 2 of them around, I'm sure it's going to be hundreds and hundreds of stages that you can still get through the entire fight in like 2 turns, maybe 3 turns. So in that case, the androids would be really good to run on the team because obviously whenever they show up, you put them in slot 3. And then you activate their active skill to give you the 1 Ghost Usher turn, but then you just have to make sure that you destroy the enemy before the next time they come back around and have to receive an attack, which is 3 turns at most, right? Because you're going to get, well, okay, you're going to get the turn that you first activate their active skill on, you're going to get the 1 turn that they're gone, the 2nd turn that they're gone because you put them in slot 3, and then that 4th turn they'll come back, you can put them in slot 3 again, and you just have to make sure to kill them by the end of their super attack, and on that turn. So technically, as long as you can beat the fight in 4 turns, if you get lucky enough for them to show up on slot on turn 2, then technically it could be 5 turns as long as your HP is, the enemy's HP is still high enough to proc their active skill by the time turn 2 starts. Then yeah, so 4 or 5 turns, as long as you can beat the EZA that quick, then they are viable to put on there for their Ghost Usher. In addition to them, you've got obviously the Int Fat Buu, who we just went over here. I'll actually open up his kit here. So he's got this in his kit here, which he survives KO attacks. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so he survives KO attacks once within the turn, and then he revives when with HP fully recovered when he gets KO'd. So this is a bit of an interesting one. I could see some shenanigans going on with this. Things like this happened with the physical metal cooler over time, where like you would be putting him in a slot where you think he's going to take a lot of damage and hope that he gets KO'd, and then he doesn't actually get KO'd, and instead you just have a very low amount of HP, and then a different character ends up getting KO'd because of that. So that is a risky run with this character, and exponentially so, because he has this mechanic, which allows him to survive KO attacks. So even if there's a really obvious place where you think, oh, he'll die for sure, he's still first going to survive the KO attack, and then you have to bank on another attack hitting him to deplete the 1 HP down to 0, which obviously would put you in a very precarious situation if he managed to, let's say, you know, tank all the way down to 1 HP and then dodge the remainder of the attacks coming at him, or that was the last attack coming at him, and then now we're going on to the next, you know, enemy is going to get hit. And even if it's someone like the STR Kid Buu who's tanking everything for double digits, well, guess what? You only have single digits to work with because you're literally at 1 HP. So 1 normal hit by anybody is going to cause you to get KO'd. So that's why I wanted to open up the kit and just emphasize that portion of it. But if you do get lucky, you have an onslaught of attacks in one spot, and you think you can guarantee the KO from him based on the amount of damage he's taking at that time, then great. This will work out well for you, mainly because when he gets the revive, obviously you do get to move on to the next turn and continue the fight for free, but then he gets his active skill, which can be procced post-revival activation, and the active skill is going to, you know, do some damage and then also give you a free Ghost Usher. So that is going to be invaluable in essentially having this unit on your team, aside from the rare situations where this ends up getting you actually KO'd. He is going to be providing a lot of utility, and I would assume because of the existence of this unit, remember, he's on Majin Power too, right? Like, he is going to be on the category and stuff, so he'll be usable all the way up to, like, stage 999 and stuff. But yeah, I think this EZA will be able to get to 999 simply because of him and the STR Kid Buu paired together. And then last up, we have the physical metal cooler. Same deal, can get the solo revive and stuff. Wouldn't really recommend using him. I would say the android's off leader skill strat would be better for the Ghost Usher than his revive is going to provide for you, just because of the RNG of, again, him having to actually die. And then once he comes back around, right, needing to make sure you finish off the fight so that he doesn't get you killed. So yeah, that is it for the specialized units that you could use. Anything else you're going to want to use on this would just be straight up Majin Power category units. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful. Let me know if you found any other fun or interesting strats that you're using on this EGA stage down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.